Hi guys, I'm Isla. Welcome back to my channel. Today I'm going to show you guys how to cut your bird's nails, and I've got my pigeon Inkwing here with me who's going to help me demonstrate. All right, let's get into it. So first, what I've got prepared here is a little bit of cornstarch. Now you can use, they sell powders at the pet store for like dogs, cats when you're cutting their nails. It's a styptic powder. This works just as well too. Might not work as well, but it's something that you'll find easily at home that can work in a pinch. Also use flour, but it's not going to work as well as cornstarch, so I do recommend that you have cornstarch. And then what I have here are some cat nail clippers. I find that these work the best for cutting their nails. You can also use human nail clippers if you really don't have any of these, but eventually I would advise that you invest in a pair of these because I feel that they cut the nails better. So before I start, since I have a pigeon, if you have a dove or a pigeon, they're pretty easy to hold. They're not going to be biting you and attacking you usually, and basically the best way to hold them is if you can hold over their feet and then make sure you have their wings like pinched together like this. Then they can't struggle as much. Although while I'm cutting his nails, I will hold him like this because it's just easier for me to see. If you have a parrot though, you'll likely need to use a towel to wrap around them because they will bite you and that hurts. So just the easiest way for parrots, since they struggle a lot and they'll make sounds or they'll try and bite you, you're gonna want to wrap them in a towel. But if you got a finch, if you got a dove, they're pretty good usually where you can just hold them with your bare hands. So now we're gonna start cutting the nails, and I just like to pick one foot and do that one first. If you guys have not seen already, he has black nails. If your bird has white nails, it's going to be a lot easier for you when you're cutting their nails because you can actually see where their quick is, which is basically a blood vessel that goes through each of their nails. Usually you'll see a little bit of red through their nails at the base, and what you want to do is you want to cut as much as you can, but like leave a little bit of space between where the quick ends and the nail is that you cut to, just so you can avoid making them bleed because their nails are a little bit sensitive. If you haven't cut your bird's nails in a really long time though, their nails will be long and you'll think that, oh, I don't see the quick down here, and you cut it, but likely it's still gonna bleed because their quick like extended since it went so long without being cut, which is gonna be normal, but that is why we have this powder here. If you cut too far, dip their toes into the powder as much as you need to in order to stop the bleeding. We're going to begin cutting his nails now. So since he has black nails, I am going to cut very little at a time, trying to avoid accidentally cutting his quick. If you cut the quick or you cut too far, they will usually flinch and struggle. Like you'll know you like accidentally cut too much. If I cut a little bit and it's not, they should not feel anything like that. Even if you look at the nail, if you can see directly into it where you cut, if you're right before the quick, you'll usually see a black dot in the center, and then you'll know to stop. It's a little hard when I'm doing it myself. I don't really see. I'm gonna cut a little bit more. I think that nail's short enough for now anyways, so I'm going to move on to the next nail. So this nail, he seems to be a little bit more sensitive about, but so far I don't see there's any blood. I think this is short enough for now. I don't want to push it because I don't want to make him bleed, so I will move on to the next one. So this one, there is a tiny bit of blood. I cut a little bit too close. So we're going to need to dip it into the cornstarch. I might just put it on my hand like this, since it's a little bit easier, and just dab it onto the tip. Try to do a really thick layer just in case there's a lot of blood that tries to come out. Their nails bleed like pretty easily. Like if you cut into it, it'll just start dripping blood. So you really want to use the powder to try and clot that up. And I'll leave that for now. If I see it bleeds through, I'll just add more on top. And now we're gonna do the last nail on his foot right here, which is the back nail. This one's actually a little bit short, so it shouldn't need that much. So now we're done with this foot. He's not bleeding on any of the other toes, just that one. I accidentally cut too far, but it's not bleeding through. So we're going to move on to the next foot. Honestly, what I like to do is I like to put the toe on my finger just because I feel like it's better to keep him from struggling. With other birds, you really might want to hold their toes while you're cutting their nails because some of them really, they like to struggle, they like to flinch. And if they do that while you're cutting the nail, they might pull away and actually make themselves bleed. So you want to avoid that happening, but he's not quite like that. Anyways, if I have my finger like this, it shouldn't be an issue. Okay, so I'm done with this foot and I cut this one a little bit more. There is a little bit of blood. So we're just gonna pat that again. The cornstarch. The other toe on the other foot, I can reapply some more cornstarch there too. But I am pretty much done. All his nails are decently short. And I don't really want to cut anymore because I just don't want to make him bleed a whole bunch. So to figure out how short their nails should ideally be is when they are standing, you don't want their feet to be, I don't know if you can see when he's standing here. If they're standing on a flat surface, you don't want the toes to be raised a little bit. They should be flat entirely against the surface. This isn't a very good surface to look on because you really want to look on like a flat, hard surface and not like something soft and cushiony. And you don't want their toes to be like crooked or like wonky to a certain side because that means their nails are too long and that's causing their toes to be not flat on the ground. So, but I think his nails are good enough for now. And really the good way to keep up with that is just make sure that you properly groom them how often you see that they need them. He doesn't really need it very often. I go like a few months before I even need to groom him. So if you got a good setup, good diet, even if you have some of those pumice perches or those safety perches with the harsh sides that will file your bird's nails, you shouldn't need to cut their nails too often. If you guys would like to learn how to do some basic pigeon care, you can check out my video up here. Thank you all for watching my video. If you guys would like to support me, there's some links in my description box below. You can buy me a coffee. I appreciate all you guys' support, and I hope you guys have a wonderful day. I'll see you guys in my next video. Bye.